Cool. So, yeah, just 5 minutes behind now. So I think that's good. We can make the time back in the break. So over to our next item. We're going to hear from colleagues at Bebot AI and Halton Borough Council about their work in family hubs. And I will say no more. Over to you, Kevin, Adam.
Thank you very much, Emma, and good job on for Carolyn then to make up some of the time. I'll try and do the very best myself to make that up as well. Thank you very much for this great opportunity to come along this afternoon. So good afternoon, everybody. Huge thank you, obviously, for those who've arranged the session. I appreciate it took some pulling together, so huge thank you from us. Just to quickly introduce myself, and I'll let Adam introduce himself when he jumps in during his part of the presentation. I'm Kevin Lutley. I'm one of the account execs here at Bebot AI. Been here about 5 months, just turned, I think, yesterday. Prior to that, I've spent quite a number of years working in a number of organisations around software development, specifically around children's and adult social care. Prior to that, I spent about 5 years working for Rochdale Borough Council, implementing digital solutions, in particular around children's services. We're here today just to do a brief sort of intro into our partnership and relationship with Halton Borough Council, in particular around the implementation of our intelligent automation platform to support their family hubs digital front door. Lots to go through. I'm going to keep it quite brief because I want to focus on Adam, but ultimately, like Emma suggested in the chat and verbally, if you want to be, want a conversation with us, we'll provide our contact details at the end, and you're more than welcome to reach out and set up specific sessions with us if that's what you want. So ultimately, we're a small organisation based in Sale, just on the outskirts of Manchester, been operating for about 3 years now. Something I've heard a few times during the session, which I think is really, really important, and it's great that other providers are picking up on this. It is about the use of AI to support decision making and humans ultimately making those decisions. So it's great that that is reiterated through everybody's session. I think it's really important to state. We're, like I said, a small organisation, but mighty, as we like to think. We have a really feature-rich platform to ultimately support the digital front door across council services. It's really feature rich in terms of AI, but also IA, which is what we call intelligent automation. And there's lots of features that we can touch on as part of the session. One of the things that Adam is going to specifically hone in on is the use of what we call automated digital pathways, and he'll take you through a bit of a story from a citizen perspective. The platform is built on what we call progressive web application technology, or PWA for short. It's a relatively newly used platform in this space. You may be familiar with it from the use of other apps in other sectors, such as Starbucks, Spotify, Facebook, Google Maps, for instance, or use PWA technology. It's a hybrid technology which gives you the best of both worlds, from an app that you would get on your phone to utilize all those native features, but also a web presence as well, so you're not digitally excluding anybody from the experience. Ultimately, what we're trying to do in partnership with a number of local authorities is build an all-age digital front door to council services, specifically around children and adults. That started off with family hubs about 3 years ago, and that's morphed into other areas as our customers are challenging us and pushing us to do more things with the application and the platform, which is fantastic to see. Ultimately, what we're trying to do is consolidate all these different sort of user experiences across different services into a single consistent ecosystem with a single user interface and user experience, and integrate different applications as well along that journey. Ultimately, the platform is unique from our perspective in that it actually understands the user and the family, whether it's a young person, an adult, another family member within the family composition. It understands them. It can tailor and personalize the experience using the features within the application. So you can onboard yourself quite straightforwardly in terms of sort of registering a little bit of information about yourself. So it can tailor that experience and give you a much richer citizen feel when you're working through the platform. Next slide, please. Just to touch quickly on some of the customer partnerships, some of you may be from some of these local authorities, so I won't steal any limelight in terms of what we're doing with you guys in particular. But this just gives you a bit of a flavour. Like I said, we're a small organisation, but we're growing quite rapidly and we're onboarding new partners all the time. We see our customers very much as partners. Ultimately, they drive our digital roadmap, which is really exciting to see, and they're really pushing the platform to do other things, which is really exciting. Next slide, please. So what does a digital front door look like, in particular in this instance around children's, but also about adults? It gives you the ability to bring in different services. So it could be your family hub offer, it could be your directories, whether it's your family information service, your local offer, whether that's your adults community directory, public health, into one seamless experience. The platform, like I said earlier on, is really sort of rich in AI and intelligent automation features, and we've recently built some quite unique features, particularly around commissioning, which allows the due diligence of new suppliers to deliver council services. With Gloucestershire, we're doing some work with Coventry around demand management and using intelligent automation and triaging to support the decision making of safeguarding queries coming in. Again, it's all about supporting decision making and not actually making decisions. That's where the practitioner and the expertise comes in. So it is about bringing everything to that kind of single front door, but from a family's perspective, making it accessible, promoting sort of participation and engagement with local council services. Ultimately, as we all know in the room, albeit the virtual room, change only happens when people are accessing these particular services, not on the end of a phone. So what we're trying to do is promote the participation and engagement in such local services. Next slide, please. Just briefly, in terms of some statistics, obviously these are changing all the time. I'm trying to screenshot them at a particular point. I'm not going to steal Adam's thunder in terms of some of the stats there, but you can read them on screen. But ultimately, the biggest stat I want to quickly read out is down the bottom left hand side there about the level of engagement people have with our platforms. It's around, across our customer base, on average 14 minutes of engagement within the platform, compared to 90 seconds, which was the outcome of a recent study done in terms of council websites by a local authority. When I first saw that figure, I was like, wow, why is it so much? Is that a problem? Why are people spending so much time within a digital platform? But it's actually a really good thing, because it means that they're engaging with the content, they're watching videos within the platform. They're not being led on like a digital safari, which we've all experienced. You go into a website, it gives you a link. You go into another website, it gives you another link. And before you know, you've completely lost your trail of thought. What we're trying to do is bring everything into one single digital ecosystem and user experience and interface that captures their attention, keeps people there, and delivers rich content to that person to help them make informed decisions about their own care as well, and giving them the autonomy to support their own care. So quite interesting stats there. Next slide, please. Perfect. Ultimately, if we can provide that great digital experience using these rich features, what you'll do is you'll support channel shift. So you'll encourage, the families to engage with your online digital offer and digital service. You can provide highly accessible and tailored information personalized to their particular needs, because you understand more about that person, that family, and the wider family as well. And it also allows them to engage with the council in a different way to support improved health and wellbeing outcomes as well. Ultimately, we're trying to drive participation with local services, and Halton have seen a 34% increase in footfall in their family hub since launching the digital platform. So the journey that we're on is clearly the right one. We're just keen to do more of it with more local authorities. Okay, I'm going to hand over to Adam, who's going to take you through Jill's journey, if that's okay. And
thanks,
I'm here
Kevin.
to answer any questions as well.
Thank you. Thanks, Kevin, and thanks, Emma and Kate. So I'm Adam Heinzhoff. I'm the strategic lead for Early Help and the Family Hub Transformation Programme in Halton. And I've kind of been working with Bebot for a couple of years now on our digital transformation. Just because of time, what I wanted to do was just take you through a persona, take you through a journey of one of our citizens and with a particular focus on one of the key features that was really one of the selling points for us wanting to get into partnership with Bebot in terms of the digital care pathway So I'm going to talk to you about Jill, and Jill's got a young child who is starting reception very soon, and we know through all the government missions that children achieving a good level of development and getting ready for school is a real key driver in the space. So if you're familiar with this space, this I'm sure will resonate with you. Next slide, please. So like many other families, when it comes to April, when you've signed up for your preferred primary school place, you will receive a notification of whether you've been successful or not, and hopefully you are successful. And Jill receives this information as well because she's, as I say, her child started reception. And what Jill also receives is a link at the bottom of the school admissions letter. And that link just gives her a bit more information around how between April and September she can start helping her child prepare for school. Some of those key skills and experiences and opportunities that children need when they start reception. So she has a link, she has a QR code, and there's a social media post there that is also signposting people to our digital asset that takes them directly to our digital front door and to sign up to one of our digital pathways. Next slide, please. Now, another way that Jill can receive this information is via onboarding through the platform. So the platform, as Kevin said, really allows us to take families through a personalised journey. So you can see here that we're asking for some very low level, not really personal information, but personable enough that we can tailor content specifically for Jill. So Jill puts her name in and she tells us where she lives. She tells us how many children she's got and the age range of her children. And then she selects from some topics of interest. And the topics of interest can be customizable. We can add them, we can delete them, we can make them really tailored as much as possible. And when citizens do this, they then can receive push notifications on a regular basis of content through the platform directly to Jill. So what we did for the starting reception was a booklet was produced last year. It was about 8 to 10 pages long, and what we wanted to do was we wanted to use our intelligent automation platform to take out the contents of this booklet and almost put them into bite-sized messaging chunks. So every 3 days, Jill, who's signed up to the pathway, will receive a different message, and the message will give them a tip, a hint, a resource around how she can help her child prepare for starting reception. So if we go on to the next slide, these are some other ways on the platform that Jill can access this information. So throughout the platform, we can embed these links at various different pages. So wherever a parent is spending their 10 minutes of browsing time, at some point, if it's a topic of interest, they're going to land on a page, and it gives us an opportunity to allow them to click on to sign up to receive various notifications. Next slide. Again, another example of a digital asset that we can do. The QR code will take them directly to the space where they can sign up to receive the digital pathways. And I think the next slide just starts to get you to see an example of what some of these pathways might look like. So you can see here the messages have been broken down into bite-sized smaller chunks. It gives them an overview of the information that is useful for their child when starting reception, and it can tailor the content, and it can give them some links, and the links will then take them to access some additional support, and they're receiving this notification directly through their app or on the desktop, wherever they kind of browse really. So you can see the examples that are on the screen there, and I think that might be it. So that's one example of one of our pathways. We've got a number of other digital pathways. We've done one specifically for dads during antenatal period, so they're aware of what's happening during different stages of their pregnancy. And then once baby's born, it then onboards them into a digital pathway of how they can support their partner during infant feeding and breastfeeding and things like that. So they're very flexible and intelligent. And we think they're one of the key features of the platform for us. So thank you very much.
Fab, thank you so much. And Adam is a regular LinkedIn poster and posts lots about what's going on in family hubs in Halton. So feel free to connect with him because I always see lots of good stuff going on there. Huge thank you, Kev and Adam. That was really interesting to hear. Amazing impact in terms of increase in, footfall, increase in time spent engaging with platforms. So yes, well done, folks. Really, really great to see.
Thank you.